What's going on YouTube? Barrymore back with another locals match. Today we got Blueflare on the left side going against Crossheart on the right. Looks like Crossheart is going to be going first, catching that Pikmon. He wastes no time going into that Sparrow. Sparrowmon's a pretty good card going over that Pikmon. He does go into gets into a 5k body whenever he swings, so it can swing over most rookies and a couple of champions that Blueflare plays, so he can swing safely for the most part. For 3 memory, plays a Taiki so he can search some pieces. Goes ahead and gets the Z underneath the Taiki and gets that X3 so he can go ahead and cross next turn if he needs to. Over to Blueflare, hatches the Wanyamon and goes into a Dragmon on top of it. And it looks like he's going to be just doing some searching of his own. Dropping that Greymon, hitting that Metal Greymon, Zeeg, Dracmon, and a hybrid here. Adding 2 Blueflares in the Zeeg and the Metal Greymon. Crossheart immediately raises up on his turn and swings with that Sparrowmon, drawing from the pick by hitting a Cyber Launcher. So fortunately he hit one of the stronger Digimon on the Blueflare side, deleting him. And here we see a cross going on. The Rulamon and Omnisha going as an X3. On play reveals top 3 and gets 2 Crossheart cards. Able to pick up that Shopmon and that Zanjiro. Passes over 2 and raises up that Dracmon. So you can stun the X3 if he does go into that Metal Grey that he picked up earlier. So it looks like he might be thinking about doing. Yeah, so here we go. He has the Greymon and then the Metal Bergermon underneath the Metal Greymon, stunning that X3. Beginning of turn though, the X3 can delete itself to save those 2 sources and gain a memory. No point in keeping him out here since he can't swing. Does hatch the Pikmon and goes into a Shopmon, so that's the reason why he didn't pick it up earlier, because he had already one in hand. Now here we're seeing a cross going on. It looks like he's going into the X7. Oh, pretty early on in X7. And he had all the pieces. That's pretty sweet. So he gets to X7 and he gets to keep turn because he only goes for 2. Able to delete that Metal Grey. Unfortunately for the Blueflare, he doesn't have his Tamer to save underneath, so all those sources go to the trash. And he swings into security with that X7 13k with that DP boost, but he just hits a Sorai. So that's kind of bad because he just stripped 4 of his sources that he just got, and they went straight to the trash. Not able to save those. But he does play another Taiki, so he can search some more pieces. He needs to reload that hand after losing all those sources. Not that good of a hit here though. It's a bunch of crosses and a yeah. So he decides to get the X3 and put the X5 underneath the Taiki. Back to Blueflare. It does still have the Dragmon in the field. And the X7 doesn't have a blocker, so he goes ahead and swings. Can't draw from the Wanyamon. Still no Tamer on the side of the field. And does get deleted in battle against security. And in order to stun that X7, he just goes ahead and drops the Sorai, stripping the rest of his sources and not letting him swing with that. So the X7 pretty much is useless right now because he can't swing, and he has no blocker or anything that he can do with it. But the Shopmon goes ahead and swings and hits a Blazing Memory boost. And it looks like he drops just another Taiki, search some more cards. Gets another X7, and I'm assuming he's going to put that Starmon underneath. Yeah, he puts the Starmon underneath, gets the X7 in the hand, passes over 2. Still has Madoki in the back, so he can raise. Madoki unfortunately doesn't do much against the Crossheart matchup unless you're doing what he did earlier and deleting your X3 so you can get that 1 memory. And I guess he figures it out, so he swings into security with it since it's no use to him. It dies, and he does drop he drops the Decker Greymon. He doesn't stun the board, but at least he does have a blocker. No, he has a blocker because he put the Z underneath, which he blocks the the Shoutmon. Oh, he was able to get to stun the X7 though, because he put the Decker Dramon underneath. In order to shout the X7 or the Crossheart, he drops a Zenjiro and chokes him to 1 by dropping that Ballistamon, trapping the Zenjiro. Digivolves into another Madoki and then just drops the Gauss. No stun on the board, so he can swing with both of them if he wants to, which he does with the X7. Nothing to be scared of inside security as far as Digimon being over the 13k body. So he freely swings, hitting a Z, and then swings with the Ballistamon, but does block with the Decker. And here we see another cross going into the X3 for 2 only, because he does get the Zenjiro to tap to gain that 1 extra memory. And he got a pretty good search here, getting the Rulamon and the Sparrow. Swings into the last check because why not? Might as well get rid of it. But he does hit into a blazing memory boost, which could help the Blueflare player out here. And puts him to 2 by dropping another Zenjiro, dropping a Ballista. So he has 2 blockers on the field. No, 1 blocker. Well, he technically does have 2, but one of them suspended. He swings with the Gauss, blocking with the Ballista, because might as well block with it just in case it gets frozen. They won't have any use out of it. He drops the Decker Dramon. He's able to draw 1 from dropping him, and then 1 for each one of your opponent's Digimon. Able to draw 4, popping the boost, going up to 4. And here he crosses, but he's only able to cross with 1 source. Without having a Tamer on board to save all your sources, you have to use all those sources from your hand, which is getting thinner and thinner every time you do so. Yeah. He still has a blocker on board though, so he chose to delete the X3 to get that extra. I can't get the memory because it's a Madoki. This is what I was talking about earlier. The Madoki is only useful against the X3. It looked like he didn't notice about that. He didn't think about it before he did it, or because he was trying to gain the memory, but the Blueflare player told him that he couldn't gain it. Here he's crossing again. I think he's going into another X7 that he had in hand. Yeah, he's going into the X7. He's going to pass over 6, well 5, because he drops it for 6. But he does have those 2 Zenjiros where you can reduce it by 2, so putting him down to 3. Then he pops the Greymon. No use of popping that Decker Dramon or Decker Greymon because he will just armor purge. Back over to Blueflare, hatches the last egg. And goes, yeah, he's kind of in a hard spot here. Crossheart has 2 blockers on the field. He still has 3 security as well, so Digivolves into the Gaussmon. And swings with the Decker. There's no point in not blocking here, might as well. Again, you could drop in that Metal Greymon to stun the board. So might as well you get use out of it. Digivolves over the Madoki into Greymon. And then just scoops. Yeah, he's got no out to that. There was no way to come back from that. So we move on to game 2 here. Blueflare going first. Going into a Dracmon. And he just plays a blazing memory boost. Hopefully he can get a Tamer out this time. Another blazing Sorai, Metal Greymon, Cyber Launcher, and the Gauss, the Dracmon. Definitely getting that Metal Greymon. He gets another blazing. Crossheart player does it in hatch. Goes into a Sparrow. And he just drops his Shoutmon. Not too bad. I mean, he needs to search, so he at least he hit a Tamer and a Digimon, so he can get both of them. And he actually hit both greens, which is a plus, because he could just go ahead and play that Zenjiro and choke him to 1 by playing out that Ballistamon and then tapping it, which is exactly what he's going to do here. Yeah, best way to go about it, just to choke him. That way to force him to use that blazing if he wants to go ahead and stun. Because he does the Crossheart does have 3 swings coming out next turn, so he's got to find a way to stun this board. Otherwise, this could be a quick game. He drops a Cyber Launcher, puts a Drakmon underneath so he can bounce the Shoutmon. He puts it to the bottom deck. It was for 6, unfortunately, but he had no choice here because they would have been 3 checks. And the Sparrowmon lives out from that attack, so that's a plus on the Crossheart. And you might as well swing with the Ballista, but unfortunately he hits a Sword Joe, so dropping the Darulamon just to delete the Drakmon. And he does get the 2 from the Sword Joe, so it's not too bad. At least he choked him to 1. He only got 2 memory out of it, putting him to 3. Digivolves into Madoki, and then hard drops a Greymon. Thanks to that Drakmon inheritable, he does get a memory back, putting him down to 0. Reveals 4 and gets a Z and a Metal Greymon scene. Yeah, the Decker swung over the Ballistamon. Now here, I'm not sure if this is what the right thing, what the effect actually does. It says it bottom decks a level 4 if you have a Cyberdramon underneath, which it counts as Cyberdramon by putting the Cyber Launcher underneath. So you guys are gonna let me know because he bottom decked both the 3 and the 4. Does the Cyber Launcher get to bottom deck both, or just one or the other if he has a Cyberdramon underneath? Because the Cyber Launcher also counts as a Cyberdramon, so I'm not sure if that was if that's the effect. So let me know, guys, in the comments if that was correct. But back over the Crossheart, it digivolves into the Starmons in raising over the Pigmon. Sitting here at 2 memories. It probably doesn't want to drop a rookie just to not give him the 2 extra memory with no soul, because he won't have any sources in these. But it's like he's struggling here to see what he's gonna do next. No Taiki to cross in case he needs that Ballista from underneath the Zenjiro. He plays another Zenjiro. So he taps both, so it's only a 1 cost, which is pretty sweet. But he does have a body on the field with no sources, so he's gonna pass over 2. Yeah, he looks like he's going wide here, trying to go wide. He passes over 4 because he got that 2 extra memory. 3 checks on the Blueflare side if he decides to swing with all of them. This time he at least has a Tamer to save under, but he can't tap it because to get sources from underneath he needs to find these his blue Tamer that lets him get sources from underneath. And he swings with the Greymon. Might as well go ahead and get rid of that Ballistamon on the field, get that block so he doesn't touch his security. No use of having them out here because he might just stun the board. At that point he'd be useless. Swings with the Madoki. Oh, he hits a Taiki, not Tanjiro. He goes ahead and picks up that Taiki and puts the Shoutmon underneath the Taiki he just played from security. That's a pretty big hit for the Crossheart player. Gets a search and he gets a red Taiki Tamer. And here we go into the Decker Greymon. So he will have Armor Purge on top of a 10k body. Now, I'm not sure if he has a Decker Dramon underneath, so I don't know if he can stun or not. I think he might have it at the bottom source. So if he does, he's able to stun that Starmon. He puts a Z, yeah, so he did have the Decker Dramon underneath, so he can stun the Starmon, and he puts a Z so he can have a blocker. So in case he tries to raise that Starmon and swing into his security. Okay, so he dropped the Tamer here. I forget this Tamer's name. What is his name? Oh my god, it's killing me that I can't remember this guy's name. And he goes ahead and swings him with the Starmons. I'm assuming just to get the draw power here. No, he doesn't even block it. And he hits a Hammer Spark. That's funny that the Blueflare player plays a Hammer Spark. Looks like we're seeing a cross here. He's gonna get the Shaman, the Starmon from on the field. Oh, he goes into the X4, the one of. But he gets to go for one, but he does tap both Zenjiros. He forgot to untap the one that was suspended. This actually gains him an extra memory. Plus he gets a check, so. He gets to draw, but the Decker's still unsuspended, so he does get to block the attack. Gets to save 2 though, because he got deleted by battle, not after the battle. He saves the Shaman underneath the Zenjiro. And the Starmon's underneath the Taiki. Starmon's on down the field is still just kind of a problem because he's going to keep giving that Sworjo memory if he doesn't get rid of it. He pushes him to 3 but gets that 2 extra, give him to 5. The Blueflare player is pretty good. He's in a pretty good spot right now because even though he has 2 memory left, he has a blocker. And even if he goes into X7 to delete that blocker, he'll just armor purge and still have a blocker. Finally decides to swing with that Madoki. He does get the draw off the Wanyamon, but he dies in security. He did his job. Got a security and got a free draw, so not too bad. Still working with a 5 memory here. Oh, you guys, okay, so he goes into another Decker Greymon to offer even more protection. So now he's got a Decker Greymon with 2 layers of armor purge and blocker. So I'm assuming he's just going to keep it on the board and not swing with it. Also gets to stun the Starmons again because of the Decker Greymon. And he plays the Madoki for 3 going down to 0 and then an Ice Wall. Oof. That's pretty big here. Now he can go up to 2 if he decides to put a source underneath that Tri-Tamer. Which he does. Why wouldn't he? He gets to put a source underneath it and then draw a card. Puts the Derulamon. But here we're gonna see another cross. And yeah, I mean, best to use that Starmons from the field because there's no point in leaving it on there. Like I said, it's just gonna keep feeding him memory. Only 4 sources to go into an X7. That's going to be for 6, I believe. Yeah, but he does have the 2 Zenjiros. No point in tapping both because he's going to go to 3 either way, but does it anyways. Gets rid of the Madoki. No point in trying to target that Decker Grey because, like I said, it's just going to get armor purged. Yeah, Crossheart players here is in a really tight spot here. He keeps losing sources, and he's going to keep losing more sources there if he decides to swing, stripping those 2 with the Sword Joe. The best thing to do here would be to swing with that Gauss, rip those 2 sources, and the X7 players should block. There'd be no reason to. Because most likely he's just gonna get stunned. And he lets it go through, okay. I guess it kinda worked out because he didn't hit another Tri-Tamer. So that's good, he can start getting more draws and putting cards underneath and getting memory at the beginning. Also bad for the Blueflare because the Dagosman didn't die. He can't summon at level 4. Uses a Hammer Spark to go to 4. And then chokes him with that blazing memory boost. Still kind of surprised here that the Hammer Sparks. I haven't seen Hammer Sparks in a while. Does pick up 2 pieces off of that though, so. He didn't stun the X7, so the X7 can swing, but he still has that blocker with 2 layers of protection, so even if he decided to swing, he'd just block. And he does take advantage of those Tri-Tamers, getting 2 memory and putting 2 sources underneath to draw 2. Puts a Zeeg and a Ballistamon underneath. I think he's got to find a way to get rid of that X7. Yeah, he decides to go ahead and scoop. Alright, so game 3, Crossheart player decides to go first. Hatches the pig and goes into a shout. Oh, go straight into an X4. Oh, what is that? That's an X3. Okay, so for 1 into an X3. Pretty good. Blueflare, a little bit of a brick here. No rookie here. Drops that blazing. Doesn't hit the Kiriha. That's his name, the Kiriha. Kiriha's his name. That was killing me. I couldn't figure out this guy's name. Funny how that just clicked. He gets the Cyber Launcher and the Male Bergerman. Now over to Blueflare or X Crossheart. He's just gonna drop a type. I'm assuming he's about to swing with both his Digimons. Wait, did he just grab 2 and put them in his hand? Didn't put anything underneath the Taiki? Alright. Okay. Yeah, he hits the Hammer Spark with the second check, passing turn. A little bit of a misplay there, grabbing both sources and not putting anything underneath the Taiki. Unless I missed something, but I'm pretty sure he didn't put anything underneath him. But here he goes ahead and drops the Cyber Launcher, bouncing both Digimon. But here's that same question again. I don't know. I'm not sure if you can do that because it doesn't say bounce to level 3, and if you put a Cyber Launcher, also bounce to level 4. So I'm not sure. You guys gotta let me know about that because I'm not too sure about that ruling. But either way, passes over 2, goes into a Starmon over the Pikmon. So for 3, he's going to go ahead to go into an X3 and picking up the Omni Shout and then the Tri-Tamer. But it just chokes him down to 1 from 2 to 1. Blueflare player goes into the Dragmon in the back. He decides to swing, hitting a Zenjiro. Oof. Does he have the Ballista in hand? Oh no, it's underneath the X3. That's fine. Now if he decides to stun here, he can just go ahead and delete his X3 in the beginning. But he plays the Greymon out to search. Does get 2 targets. It's another Greymon and the Decradramon. So the Crossheart player, he has 2 swings if he decides to not delete him. But he does go ahead and delete it to gain that memory and put him underneath the Zenjiro. He takes a free swing here with the Starmon. Even if it gets deleted, we'll just save it and you'll use it later. So goes ahead. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna tap these Taiki so you can cross here. The Starmon. Oh, okay. So he's going to the X7. It's gonna be a 3-4 cost. So he will go to 0. But he does get that 1 memory back from the Zenjiro, deleting the Cyber Launcher. It does Armor Purge. And then swings into it with Piercing. So he hits the Kiriha and the Dracmon. Not looking good here for the Blueflare player. And still hasn't passed turned over. Imagine if he had the X4. So he goes into the Shaman for 4. The Dragmon swings, dies in security. It does get the draw from the Kiriha or from the Wanimon, and then swings with the Greymon, also dying. I don't think there's much he can do here, even if he was to cross and stun. He could only stun the Shoutmon. Unless he goes into Decorative. I know it looks like that's gonna be it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and let me know how you liked the video. See you guys next time.